Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to you from North Bay in Canada on the Ford World Women's Curling Championship 2018. We're in the middle of Canada, if you like. North Bay is on the banks of the beautiful Lake Nipissing, and we're 4 hours or so north of Toronto for this 2018 championship. This is the first day of the round robin for the 13 teams inside the Morrow Gardens Arena, and our feature game in this first draw is Switzerland against China. Switzerland twice world champions and the relatively inexperienced Chinese team. I'm Alison Walker, and alongside me, Luke Coley, we'll be bringing you live commentary on this game between Switzerland and China and updates on all the other games going on in this draw as well. It's exciting stuff here, the opening day, a new format, more teams. Look, it's all happening.
Yes, it'll be a little bit interesting to see how it all plays out with 13 teams for the first time. You get 6 teams making the playoffs, and we have some newcomers, a really wide open field.
So these are the two teams. There's Switzerland, there's Team China. And plenty of support for both of them. Switzerland, the lead player, Carol Hovald. Second, Franziska Kaufmann. Irene Skori is playing third. And there's the skip, the twice world champion, Binja Felcher. For Team China, Yan Hui playing lead. Jiang Jindi is their second player. Wang Rui playing third. And Jiang Yilun is the China skip. So there are the lineups, and a great crowd inside here for this opening draw. These are the teams then, 13 of them. And favourites, probably Canada on home territory, but there's Olympic champions there in Sweden. We also have the silver medalist, Korea as well, from Pyeongchang 2018, so a lot of talented teams in there, some newcomers as well, a really interesting mix and a fairly open competition, certainly at the start of the draw. So the games going on here, we have our feature game, Switzerland against China, we have Russia against Scotland, the Czech Republic play Canada, and Korea, the Olympic silver medalists, they take on Germany.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you now please stand and remove your hats for the playing of the national anthem of the Czech Republic.
And the Czech Republic national anthem, the opening anthem of these 2018 Ford World Women's Curling Championship. Teams wishing each other well, and at this stage really just desperate to get the game underway now.
Yeah, they've gone through everything, the travel to get acclimatized to the different time zone, and now you get out on the ice. You've had your practice yesterday, now here into game mode, and it's nice to get out on the ice and play those first few ends and get that first slide out under the way, get that first stone to be delivered. Go out and show what you can do. Difference here in this game, we have Switzerland, the 2-time world champion. They've been here before. This is the 5th trip for Felcher and her side. where it's the first for this Chinese team. So that'll be interesting to see how they respond early on. They do start with the hammer in the game. So we'll see how quickly Switzerland tries to put the pressure on, but that isn't necessarily the type of team that Switzerland is. They play the hits a lot. They are a little more defensive, not as aggressive as some teams. So the dilemma or the decision of how you go about it early on at a championship, if I'm Switzerland, I like to come right after them.
And what do you make of the new format?
Gives more teams the chance to get in the playoffs. It allows a third team from the Pacific Asia championship to qualify. So that means China, Japan, and Korea are all here, as opposed to two that there sometimes is only were two before. You get the 8 from the European Championship, and then the 2 from the Americas and USA and Canada. Anytime you can have more teams and grow the sport, it's a better thing.
And China hosting, of course, the 2022 Olympic Games. Anxious to show that they have more than one team and they have a depth of talent in their ranks. So a different Chinese team here. It was Bingyu Wang representing China at the Olympic Games. And a new team here, although Wang Rui did play in the Olympic Games in the mixed doubles. And she is leading the way here for China. But experience could play a major part here in this game between the two teams. There's the colours for them. The stones, Switzerland red, and China will play with the yellow stones.
Well, good looking crowd here early on to start things off. It's fun. The fans are close to the ice here. It's a smaller venue, right over top of the ice, so fans will get a good view inside the building and a good atmosphere for these teams to play.
Yep, and starting us off is Caro Hovald from Switzerland, the lead player. We saw her more commonly in the past as an alternate for this team, but now she is a full member, if you like, at lead. Started curling 17 years ago. And was part of that women's team that won gold in 2016, in 2015 and 2014.
Well, maybe a case you start a game, you put that first stone into the house. We'll see some hits here. This Chinese team, the most inexperienced team throughout the event as far as years curling.
Yan Hui, first year on this team, plays out of the hotbed of curling in China. From Changchun Curling Club.
Well, Alison, you said that Felcher, a 2-time world champion. Caro Hovald, actually a 3-time world champion. So she's got one up, but those are his alternates, though. She'd love to add a 4th. Of course, Switzerland had that 4 world championships in 5-year run just a few years ago. So Swiss curling has had a fair amount of success of late.
But this team didn't represent Switzerland in Pyeongchang. It was a team led by Silvana Tirzoni. Didn't quite make the medal stages.
No, for Swiss curling, they had to be probably a little bit disappointed with how that one played out. Thought that they would be as a medal contender and never really had it the entire Olympic Winter Games. Well, just trading hits. We are on sheet A with this feature game. Chance to sort of get a few stones under their belt before we get into a little more aggressive play.
And there is the 4 sheets for you. Lots of action and a really good crowd inside here. And you can feel the buzz of anticipation inside the arena. It's St. Patrick's Day, so you might well see 1 or 2 green hats in and around the stadium. I wonder who they'll be supporting.
Well, there will be lots of cheers. They may not go along with the game you're watching here on our feature sheet. The Canadian side, obviously, a lot of eyes on them. They're over on sheet C, but as you said, Alison, we'll keep you up to date with all the games going on here in Draw 1. Of course, it'll be the 12-game round robin that teams will play, so changes it up a little bit, and 6 teams will make the playoff round. 1 and 2 getting a bye to the semifinals, and then 3 through 6 will play quarterfinals.
So a long way to go. A lot to happen over the course of the next week or so. And we will be with you every step of the way. And a lot of interest post-Olympic Games as well. Huge interest in curling generally. And a lot of eyes on the 2 World Championships. This one, the women's, here in North Bay, and of course following that in Las Vegas for the men's. There's the rules of play, still the same, 6 ends minimum. Got your 38 minutes thinking time, and of course your coach interaction as well.
Well, we'll just peel that one out. China obviously got a boost in 2010 when they won the bronze at the Olympic Winter Games. Wang Bingyu really helped grow that game. Of course, the world champion in 2009. And you're seeing a rise in other nations out of that Pacific Asian region. Korea, the Olympic silver medalist, they are here at this competition. A different Japanese team than the one that won bronze in South Korea. But really, a growth in the sport in the Asian markets, and a lot of people watching the sport. Actually, it was in the semifinals of the Olympics, Japan, Korea, 43% of Korean households were watching that game.
It was a phenomenal game between those 2 teams, and Korea eventually winning the silver medal, Japan the bronze. This is Wang Rui for China. Played in those mixed doubles in Pyeongchang. So she's had a busy time of it.
Yeah, some teams that are played at the Olympics, now here at a World Championship. How does your body react? I see a few members from the mixed doubles now playing here. Caitlin Laws, the gold medalist there, is playing 3rd for Team Canada, the World Championship this year. We have the gold and silver medalist teams from the women's competition as well here in action. So we'll see if fatigue plays a factor at all.
Difficult to keep that level, that peak level of playing. Rui Wang finished 4th in Pyeongchang.
Yeah, they just missed out on a tiebreaker, or losing a tiebreaker to Norway, and Norway ended up getting the bronze at the Olympic Winter Games.
Vinja Felcher there, a lot of experience at this level. She's 39 now. Spent the bulk of her life curling. From Chur in Switzerland, and plays out of Flims Curling Club.
And this is a perfect first end for the Chinese team. You had a couple of draws, a couple of hit and rolls out. Just playing an open end, get the nerves out of the way, come in, make this hit. Felcher will have hers, and then you'll have a chance to blank the first end, retain hammer, and see if in the second they try and go after it, try and score some points with the hammer.
Zhang Yun. China to skip. from Harbin in China. He plays out of the Harbin Curling Club.
Ja, ik kom een keer lang, hè? Ja. Nou, maar please? Ja.
Bronze in the Pacific Asia Championship, this team. Gold for Binja Felcher in 2014 and 2016.
So it is 2018. Does that mean something?
Well, every 2 years they're a strong team. They'll be a contender here for sure. Hits in 6.
Yeah, just a simple end for both teams. The way they want to play it, just not trying to do too much. Well, now to try and cap it off, hit, roll out, and blank this first end.
Jian, is it? Yep, it's off. Out, Jian Liu. So rolls out. And the score stays the same. After one end played, 0-0.
What? Als we proberen met de training.
It's on to the second end of our feature game between Switzerland and China. Blanked end. So they retain the hammer. And try and build something in this second end.
And I thought we might see a centerline guard, but they bring this one into the top of the house. And a rookie team, Jian Liu, just decide, let's play the hit. And we don't need to go after it. Let's just keep it simple. We'll play the hit here. Right now we have the hammer. We have the control. Switzerland will have to make a play at us right now.
also plays out of Flynn's Curling Club, but she lives in a place called Langenthal in Switzerland.
Both these teams just showing how making this hit look very simple. A lot of teams, you see a club curlings that they'll hit, roll out. Most of these just right on, really get brushers to control the ice, thrown with quiet weight and not overthrowing it.
It's a slight roll there towards the center. Franziska Kaufmann, who's the second player for Switzerland from Grindelwald. And when she's not curling, she's a ticketing agent, working at a train station in Grindelwald. Tries to fit that in around her curling around the world, playing on the World Curling Tour.
Yeah, a lot of these teams are playing so much more, it becomes more difficult to have a job as well on the side. And ones that do have to have an employer that's definitely cooperative and allowing for the time off to come to these events, and not just these events, but the smaller, the Bonspiels all around the world, to help strengthen their game and get the practice in that they need in order to get to this level. And once you get to this level, it's, as an employer, it's good for yourself as well when you say, okay, we have an employee going to the World Championship. It's a nice one for them as well.
Yeah, it's good promotion, isn't it? And sometimes these players can now make a little bit of money along the way too. Teams are self-funded, many are funded from their countries, from lottery funded. Some just try and make their own way. But for a lot of these teams, it's about experience, it's about playing in Canada, playing the quality teams, the competition that they need to get better and improve.
Well, a little bit of a mistake there because they were trying to put that one as a tight centerline guard and see what China would do. That one's about 10 feet too deep, goes to the back of the 8-foot. Haven't thrown a lot of them. It was Switzerland that had first practice, so there's a long gap between their practice session and the ice right now. And after a bunch of stones down the middle and the sweeping, it'll definitely speed things up on the ice surface.
You don't want to go too far. If you're going to be make a mistake, make it short. And away it goes. And let's get an update for you on that Czech Republic-Canada game in this first end. Canada, well, a couple already.
Yeah, they got a couple in behind, and after it was a missed run back by Anna Kubiskova, didn't catch anything.
This could be a really fantastic start for Canada here.
They have a chance to play a split and get a third and fourth counter into the rings. Oh, and actually gets a little rub off that top guard. It overcurled.
And it is a 4. It's a 4. What a start for Canada. You can hear the reception of the crowd. A little bit lucky there, perhaps, to get that number.
Lucky, but as well, a real smart line call by Caitlin Laws, who rejoins this team. She didn't play at their national championship because she was at the Olympic Winter Games. They won with a different player for the first time at the third position, Shannon Burchard, who's now their alternate. And Caitlin steps right back in. And
is that a big decision for Canada to do something like that, do you think, that team?
If they knew if they were going to go to the Canadian Championship without a third, without their third, they were going to pick one up. They knew it was an option because Caitlin won the mixed doubles national trials to go to the Olympics. Obviously, the overlap conflicted to play the nationals, and that's why they bring a different player. So,
but would you not retain the player that helped you win the national championship?
Not necessarily. With this team, they played so long together, Jennifer and Caitlin Laws, that the national championship was actually the first one that Jennifer Jones had played with Shannon Burchard. Now is there as the alternate and can step in if need be.
And good to know you've got a player of that quality that you can bring in just in the wings. So great start for Canada, but who will get on the scoreboard here in this one between Switzerland and China? 0-0 after the first end.
Well, we saw the rollout by Switzerland, and now just drawn to the wide side of the house here with the last of third stones, Wang Rui. But coming up short now, skip stones, I think, might see the come around for Switzerland.
There's Al Moore, the Swiss coach from Canada, doing his sums there, doing his every move, every stone is analysed.
This is what I thought we'd see with that one coming up short. If it's in the ring, Switzerland is hitting it. Instead, Felcher now, I'm going to go around that and try and get a force out of the end, which is pretty much open throughout.
She can use that Chinese stone to her advantage now. A fairly upright delivery she has, but it's very effective.
Yeah, you'll see all kinds of different deliveries, but whatever makes the player comfortable.
We're staying off this for the moment, just keeping a very close eye. You can see it beginning to come round now.
It looks a little bit open. You're playing a pretty conservative to go around that one. Pretty much fully open for China to make a play on it.
China. Watching the action intently.
Important now, Zhang Yun to hit roll away and keep her shooter. You don't want to roll out because then Switzerland can have a second crack at coming around that center or that guard out in front.
These two know each other well. Having a smile there. Watching the China skip. Here's this looking.
Well, nicely done. They control the weight. We're actually using the sweeping with the turn. With that one would be the counterclockwise turn to try and sweep with it to get that extra heat on that path to try and cause it to curl. Just seen the last few years, the team's really working to sometimes not having both sweepers, but just one to try and almost steer the rock. This is that counterwise rotation I was talking about, counterclockwise. And the sweeping player normally will sweep closest that's sweeping against the curl. There, they're sweeping with it to get it to curl and catch enough of that stone to stick around.
Lydia Felcher's last stone here. Very similar weight. Hits and rolls out.
Well, the thought was where that guard is. That was the first thing that the Chinese team looked at. It's a lengthy one to try and split in, or you just throw one through and blank the end. Do you think you can get in to score two, or do you just blank it and try and set something up in the third?
So what's the decision?
Well, I wish I could tell you right now.
Well, we know where she's pointing the brush.
This will be the throw it away. She's throwing what'll be a clockwise rotation and just throwing this one through to blank the end again.
Yep, they want to try for another big score, or a score of more than one certainly, in end number 3. So things stay the same. after a couple of ends here. Switzerland 0, China 0 after 2.
旋进还是边局吧？旋进行。
Proberen een beetje af, dus proberen we nog. Ja, jetzt sind wir eher einmal lang. Alle eher.
Genau, ja.
Aber man kann da wirklich weit duschen und auch heben mag man sich gut. Ja. Probieren wir noch.
Ja. Viva.
Gut.
Weiter so. Viva.
Viva. Gaan we gauw, oder was?
Ja.
Gut. Ja, finde ich gut.
Third end now of our feature game between Switzerland and China. Will we get a score in this end? Teams playing pretty cagey stuff, cautious play, nothing really set up for either side. Not many stones in play, but straight away this is a bit more interesting.
Well, this is what they wanted to put, was that center line guard. Just cross the center line. So it looks like game on now, and right after it.
China.
Well, it's now an 8-end game, and what China's done by blanking those first two is they've shortened the game. Now every end is that much more important, and you have the hammer still. Great come around, really a good start to this end. Yan Hui puts that in a great spot.
Switzerland can still see a little bit of it.
Well, this a little more, most times put that center line guard up, try and keep some of those drones around. Quickly calling for the run back. Carol Hovald to try and go straight back. Oh, nicely done. A perfect world, you want to stick that red one in the house, but they leave the center line guard still.
First stone from Yan Hui. Let's see where this one finishes. Coming around the guard. Seems to be in a similar position as the last one. Here it comes round now nicely. And again, well placed.
Being open and being deeper, now we might see Felcher draw around. Still could play the hit, but that one actually can help you now without the hammer. Kaufman can put one right on top of it.
14,5 ist gut. Was ist denn da Zeit nehmen? Achtung. Stop. Hallo.
And just while we wait on Kaufman, we'll head over to that Russia-Scotland game. Russia
So the time is still running.
1-0 ahead. And second end.
And Hannah Fleming in Scotland, they have the hammer here in the second after getting a force in one. Looks like a hit and stick to try and get two. They have second shot in the back of the 12-foot.
Yep, there's one Russian red one right in there. There
Here
it is.
sweeping to try and get it to the nose, and no problem there for the rookie skip for Scotland.
Yep, first World Championship for Hannah Fleming.
Didn't have much rotation on that, eh?
I'm not sure how happy she was there, but made the shot.
That was 10. Yeah. I think it moved
Wow,
Big
more
event
nice.
for this team, really big event.
Yeah, they knocked off Eve Muirhead in a best 2 of 3 to qualify as Team Scotland here for this Worlds. So they now get a chance to wear the Scottish colours and
show what they can do. 2-1 up. They are after 2. And 0-0. Yeah, number 3 here. In Switzerland and China. It's going to make it past the guard. It is. Creeping in there. There's that centre line. Oof.
they don't get shot, but it closes in the rings. You could have got shot stone a little more weight. Where they left it actually isn't bad, because anywhere you want to get rid of it goes onto that back yellow.
China will be looking at that.
来边点，行吧，这点，对，就不磕。
Liu Mingyu for China. Harbin Curling Club, first year on this team. Was part of the Pacific Asia team that won bronze in Australia in November last year.
Well, they want it to be a little short. That's just deep, and it's a bit of a miscue. Now you can either hit and roll or freeze in between them. They wanted to try and come short of that one in the top of the 4-foot.
That medal still well exposed.
Ja. Zo. Zo. Zijn er hoog!
Super's working hard here. Hit and roll in and a wave. Yep, lovely shot there from Switzerland.
Now is the problem with what China did with their stone. Zhang Xingdi ends up coming too deep, leaving this double, and now Switzerland sitting 2 behind their centerline guard.
One definitely disappears, and the other one hangs about in the outside. But super shot there from Kaufman.
On the run back, gets rid of it, but a little unlucky that they clipped their back one in the process.
Clears things away a little bit, makes it a little more straightforward. Back over to that Czech Republic-Canada game. Canada with that huge lead right at the start, 4-0. We're into the second end now. Can the Czech Republic get anything back here?
Well, they got a cold draw side of the button in order to get 1, and you're facing 4. 2 of them, mind you, are in the 12-foot. Should be able to outdraw those, but the ones that are dangerous are in the 4-foot.
Canada well placed here. How's this looking? How's this looking? It's looking heavy. It's looking heavy. Is it going to go too far? It is. It's a loss of 2 there. A steal of 2 for Canada to extend their lead to 6. Well, just after a couple of ends, very demoralizing for that team from the Czech Republic. Let's see what's happening between Korea and Germany as well. 0-0, second end. Daniela Jentsch The final stone here for Germany. Trying to get her team on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they blank the first, and Germany retains the hammer in the second. And the draw here is got to get it to the 4 foot, full 4 foot in order to get their one.
Yep, no problem at all there. They score that first point and take the lead in that game against Korea. The Olympic silver medalists. Korea. And a lot of fans in this crowd here to watch this Korean team.
Yeah, they were really the talk of the Olympics. Of course, the Garlic Girls, the run that they went on, and how they became just the queens of the games, especially at the Gangneung Curling Center. Everyone was talking about them and all their nicknames, and they'll look to try and move a step higher on the podium here would be ideal, but they'll try and show their performance.
But there are the gold medal winners from the Olympic Games in Pyeongchang, Anna Hasselborg and her Swedish team. What a performance and a week they had. And they're here and they want that world title as well. It's going to be very, very interesting indeed. Sitting out this session, they'll play in the next one. Watching their opponents in action.
It's a tough thing to do, is go to both the same year, and it's a grind. Each of these events is a grind, but to go to both, and they'll try and do something, win both Olympics and the World Championship in the same year.
It really would be very, very special.
They'll take on Denmark here this evening. Meanwhile, playing around this centerline guard.
Oh, that was close. Gonna hit and roll in behind that yellow.
Trying to make the roll so they'd sit buried. And Wangerui actually overrolls, so it's in the open to hit in line 2 for Switzerland.
Tiny margins again, they know it. Yep, you can see plenty of room for maneuver there for Switzerland. That red one nibbling on the outside of the 12 foot. Binya Felcher targeting that Chinese yellow stone. But she's rolled out as well.
Yeah, and that half shot, that just, sometimes you see this in a first game where you're just not perfectly on sync, throwing the right weight for where the broom is. There, a little bit more weight, rolls out.
Mistake for Switzerland there.
Now an opportunity. Zhang Liun, she can play the come around, she could play the split. Could hit the back one, but you hit the back one, Switzerland may just come around and force you to take one that way. So it looks like the come around is the call here. Try and go top 4 foot with this one. Speed on the bottom right of your screen should be about 14 on this one. You see 15-1, so this one will be a real work to try and get it there. And it'll come up short and overlapped.
Timing really does give you a good guide where the stone is going to finish between the two hog lines. So a couple of mistakes from the skips in the closing stones of this end. Each unable to take advantage of an opportunity.
Überall bei 14,5 gehen, ha?
Ja, ist gut.
Anja Felcher, final stone here.
And interesting, she decided to take the other turn, going the in-turn around.
She did, yeah.
And this one, 13-4.
This is sailing on a bit too, though. Look at that. Away it goes, away it goes.
So mistake, 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 and now a chance to get out with a blank end is the Chinese side. Just one where I thought that out turn just went naturally. You just saw that path. You could play it down. Throw the right weight, it probably still curls in there with the in-turn. And you'll see throughout the week, certain players have certain preferences of which turn they want to throw on certain shots. There we saw that Felcher preferred to throw the in-turn draw as opposed to the out-turn.
Here we go with Jiang Lun. And the final stone of this third end. And she is able to blank it, gets rid of both stones. And we have another blanked end in this game. Mistakes, tiny errors. Players unable to take opportunities as yet. It's still Switzerland 0, China 0 after 3. And you can see all the action going on inside the Memorial Gardens Arena here. Normally ice hockey is played here, but it has been converted into the most magnificent setting for this championship, this World Championship. Here in North Bay, Ontario, you can see all the signatures on the ice, and the sponsors. But there you can see on the scoreboard, 0-0, 0-0, 0-0. Are we going to see a score finally here, Luke, do you think?
Well, I thought we were last end, but time will tell. A little difference in how things are going now. China decides, instead of drawing around, which they did last end, that center line guard that started things off, let's put up the corner guard. So off we go, put that corner guard out. try and generate some offense away from the center. China had an opportunity. They had a guard to draw behind. They came up short. And Switzerland had a chance. They were too heavy. Led to the blank.
Yep, so we've seen some mistakes from the skips. We need to get things sharpened up in this fourth end. So meantime, we'll head over to Russia against Scotland. Scotland leading 2-1 after 2 ends. This is a draw for 2 for Russia. Victoria Morsiva. This team played in the Olympic Winter Games in Pyeongchang.
Yeah, and that was their real first international event for them. And now they get to go back to a world championship right after. So it's a good chance for them to really use that experience that they got from the Olympics and try and put on a good showing here at the World Championship.
So the 3-2 up there on Scotland. What about Czech Republic against Canada? Canada leading 6-0 after just 2 ends. This has been a tough day for the Czech Republic.
But a chance for them to cut the lead in half. 2 misses by Jennifer Jones left some red stones around, and now the open hit, Anna Kubiskova.
And she's got herself back into this game. That is a super score there of 3 for Anna Kubiskova. Well played to her. She must have been feeling it after losing those first couple of ends so badly. But 6-3, and still time to claw that back even further. Back to our featured game. Well, lots of scores in the other games, but yet to see one here. Ooh.
Trying to run back and just misses it. So we got 3 guards, all belong to Switzerland. The corner is in play, and that's all it takes. 1 miss now, and Switzerland's chasing here in this 4th end.
China use their advantage here.
Well, it's a pretty good result. They ended up coming right down to the face of it. I don't think you can throw enough to get both of them unless you run the guard in.
And that looks like what she might be doing here. Jessica Kaufman. How's the angle here? Using the guard. Gets rid of one, but knocks the other one into that. There's that button there.
But they didn't push it far enough that it's behind cover. It just chips it over to the side, top of the button.
修还是他说比上一个点收一点。行。56，这个56。这个力量我觉得比上一个大一点啊。
Well, trying to continue to use that corner guard is the plan.
She's working hard here, getting it over that line, and trying to bring it round. Catches the guard.
Well, both sides just haven't been that sharp in their draw game, seeing struggle with their opportunities to get around guards. Not that we've seen a lot of that, and only a couple ends with some draw shots being played. That being said, that one's short. There's one by Kaufman that came up short. That means a chance here for Chori to make the hit on the open stone in the house.
Okay, let's see how the Olympic silver medalists are faring against Germany. Third end. Germany leading 1-0.
Looks like an open hit here to get a deuce.
Kim Jung Kim, the skip, hits and sticks on that outside with the 12-foot to score 2. So leading 2-1 now after 3.
Yeah, and they play a very smart game, that Korean side. Don't get enough credit. Pick their spots. They're aggressive when they need to, and they don't have a problem with stones in play. Speaking of stones in play, all those out front, but neither side able to get that draw weight to go around.
Ja, zie je richtig. Ja, rechts, richtig. Fest, 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 fest.
We're a bit concerned about this. How's it looking? How's it looking?
Well, it might have been a good thing that it actually touched the front, because it looked like it might have had too much weight to stay in the house. It ends up chipping off, sliding to the open side. If they do get by, they may go through the rings or be quite deep. Now you're forcing China to play this hit.
Gets some rolls in towards the center button.
Just in between. They have those 4 out in front, and they can't sit behind any of them.
Yes, right in the... You could have placed that in the worst place almost. Very available.
Ja.
Aber das ist sicher ab.
Ja, wir probieren mit Heck. Also. Findest du es Eis? Ich finde das Eis so finde ich gut. Mögen würde nicht, ich finde es gut so mit Heck. Okay. Können wir Heck? Ja.
Gut, ja. Tipptopp.
Heck ist über 12, hä?
45 meters or so.
12 ist
As
gut.
an Olympic curling sheet, that's a long way to be throwing a stone. And how accurate are these players most of the time?
Gut, 12.
Warte, warte. Spitzli mehr. Falscher. Spitzli länger.
Well, Felcher, her team definitely preferred to play the hit game as opposed to the draw game, and she's getting a chance to play this hit right now.
Hey, 11,5.
I think they're looking to roll to the side, try and get it covered, but
Yeah,
it
there's
was in between.
nothing on that at all. It's almost exactly in the same place as the China stone was that they just removed. Certainly not seeing them play as well as we know they can. This Swiss team.
我爱甩一句话。我猜他是我们那个。
Jiang Yun.
Question is where they want to roll with this one. Go behind the center or go to the wing.
Same line here. Just missing that guard there. It's rolling, it's rolling. How far is it rolling?
I didn't think they were going to get by that front. They just papered that front stone. Roll wide open side of the 12-foot.
Let's see how close it was. Couldn't quite see it perhaps because of her legs there, but it was very close and just rolling too far and right out there in the open. There it is. What can Binya Felcher do with her last stone this time?
She'd love to make the perfect roll, otherwise we might see another blank. Yeah, and right on the beak. We might see a couple more donuts go up on the board.
The more ends that are gone, though, tightens up the window of opportunity for both teams.
And then every mistake is multiplied.
Last of the fourth, she's thrown a few of these now. As Jiang Yilun hits and rolls out, both of them. So another end is blanked here. It remains 0-0 in our featured game. Very tight, all to play for. In number 5, 0-0 after 4. Fans of all ages enjoying the action here inside the Memorial Gardens in North Bay.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yes. Lots of green. Players looking fairly relaxed out there too. But as we eat up the ends here, it's going to get very tense. Nothing to choose between these two teams. Mistakes on both sides. And somebody's got to give at some point. There's the numbers, or lack of numbers.
0 is a number, right?
Yeah.
It's just a very consistent number.
All tactical. And again, China want to build something here. Over to Korea, Germany again for you. Fourth end, 2-1 Korea. Daniela Jentsch with the final stone here.
She has, Korea was able to get one top of the forefoot buried, so need to get this one to the button in order to try and tie the game up. These are tough shots, but game savers. You don't give up the steal or you score one. So see how this one plays out.
Working very hard past that yellow one, and in it comes, in it comes. And there it goes, settles nicely.
That's a big shot by their skipper.
High fives there, she said. relief, I think, possibly, is the emotion at that point.
，OK， 差这多少
To this one between Switzerland and China.
？13.13。
And again, draw weight seems to be a struggle for both sides. That one back of the 12-foot.
Meter meer is goed.
He's trying to go around top 4.
These lead players are so important in curling, and their stone placement impacts all the way through the end.
Helemaal klaar.
And the positioning has just been a little bit off today for both teams at the start of each end.
Ja, Lila nou. Lila, graag zie. Kijk, verlengen nou. Zie je, ja. Wees, zie je. Goed, goed zie. Goed zo.
Ja, 13.6. Weiter.
It's rock placement crucial here. You don't want to have your stones going behind the tee line. That one slides back 8 foot for Switzerland, following it down. Putting this top 8 foot, top 4 is real important for China now. Well, real nice weight there to go top 4 foot. Does come out the other side, but real tough to make a play on that. And you roll away, they can just put another one there. So you have to force Switzerland to play the freeze.
14-2, het loopt zo veel.
Over to Russia against Scotland. Russia leading 3-2 in the 4th end in this one now.
Pressure-filled draw now. Facing these two, you got to hit a piece of the button for Hannah Fleming, her first World Championship game.
All about the weight here. And you can see the stone beginning to come round now. Is there enough on it? Are they going to get it in there?
Oh, look at the curl. Question is, does it over curl? Oh, I think I saw the indication 1 yellow.
Yeah, they're
able to get their one.
Curl.
Wow. I didn't think you could over curl that by getting by. So
Very well
great
played
brushing
by Team Scotland there, and it really was a team effort. And they breathe a sigh of relief there, getting that one in. That's right, so back to this one between Switzerland and China.
Well, while we were showing you that, it's the come around by Switzerland that was going to freeze, ended up coming right around and getting shot back button.
Ja,
Die gut, ja.
also kann ich 2 Meter kürzer.
2 Meter kürzer bist gut. 80 kann ich haben.
Gut.
85, 90 ist gut.
Länge ist gut. Mitte.
Richtig ist gut. Mitte noch mehr. Gaan het fest. Gaan het fest. Oh, gaan het viel fest. Oh, gaan het viel fest.
So they want to take away the hole because there's that short little raise if you leave that, and it does over curl. So there's going to be a path to get at that.
打定正正好好全漏，多
多
一点不多。
他把力量磕定没有吗？要是磕定，从往外甩。 这样磕地的话就得这样甩，对，就是这样甩啊，要不行就这样磕甩。但我觉得这个磕甩比较好。怎么的？踏板
The
就
big
像给它
question
磕
is
定的。
what weight to throw on this
咋的
now.
了？踏板声大一点，踏板量大一点。
I think about half weight.
It's the longest conversation we've seen this team have.
踏板。
不亮，那你等会儿。
And they are asking for a timeout.
The X being the official timeout, something with the handle. We've seen a few already with the handles, the hog line
来人了，时间停。
indicators on them. They'll flash green if, as they slide over, there's a strip in the ice.
Okay, so I'll go to the hog line and I'll just watch it, and then we'll fix it at the end. Is that okay?
OK。
So you go ahead and deliver, okay? You go ahead and deliver. All one.
他看这个球就行啊，他看球这边。
The official go out and watch. We've seen he's actually come out a couple times already.
12秒。
Sometimes it's a battery and they just need to replace it after the end.
Just wants to, so this won't be a proper throw, folks. It will just be over the line to see if the indicator is working properly. She releases it before. And light should go on.
Prior to they using these handles, they actually had officials sit on each end side of the sheets and watch. So they had 4 officials sitting out there watching through every game.
It was the human eye that determined.
Well, missed chance there to try and get through the hole. Sometimes it throws you off with your rhythm or your routine if
you
you.
wonder. You wonder, don't you?
它是 schön für ihn.
Ja, fein, wirklich.
This might have affected her composure just a little bit.
Ja.
Previous stone.
Oh, in dem Fall.
Ist 8 Fuß. T-Line. T-Line. T-Line.
Oh.
Von nachts. Von nachts.
Vor 8, vor 12. Zieh, richtig, richtig.
Trying to plug that hole this time, and they're using that red. They get just enough.
Yep, nice outcome for Switzerland there.
Gar nicht gemerkt.
亲一个。
OK。先清一个吧。
头还在那留着呢。
清一个球上。
下线打定也行。
那是 flicken, 那是 oh oh.
Nee, nee. Ja, aber am Schluss kommt er noch. Wow. Wow. Hi. Whoa.
Got to clear up the front. Try and make this double peel.
Hi. Hi.
Oh, superly done. Let's check on Canada's game against the Czech Republic. 6-3. Fourth end. Canada still with that significant advantage.
Trying to extend it is Jennifer Jones, the 2008 world champion, trying to hit and score 4.
Is it going to be another big score? It is indeed, and that one on the right is still nibbling as well. So it looks like another score of 4.
Canada, perfect start for them against the Czech Republic side. Not expected to be a medal contender here, but not necessarily the start to an event that you want coming in and being down 10-3 after 4 ends.
And I guess teams before they start look at the games potentially they think they should win, and maybe Canada wouldn't be one of them. Just write that off straight away, but you still don't want to lose by that kind of margin in terms of how it affects your confidence and going forward. Maybe tough.
Well, looking at another double peel, trying to open that front up. This time it'll work.
这个球拿走。
Nog maar elkaar. Hæ? Ja. Oder? Meine finde ich gar nicht gut.
Ja, und Take hat ist aber nichts.
Well, able to spin them both out and off.
Ja. Schluss gehen sie extrem.
Also lieber, wenn wir machen, also Nina finde ich eher ungünstig.
Nein, wir sind auch ungünstig, ja.
Can still put a well-placed guard that'll take away any access to those in the forefoot. If you're able to just cross center.
Schon fein, hä?
Es ist wirklich
Ja.
sehr fein. Ja. Also noch weiter.
0-0 game, but Binya Felcher just 69% so far.
It is only game one. A long way to go.
Kijk, Botser!
Schering!
Botser, kan het ergens wel?
Dritte
Botser,
Gang!
Gara Botser! Gara unbedingt
Länge ist
Botser!
super. Länge ist gut.
Gara Botser! Achtung! Muss noch ein bisschen. Ja! Ja! Fest! Ja! Fest! Fest! Fest, 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 fest! Oh, oh, oh. Super. Sehr gut.
Gut. 15-3.
Didn't really matter how deep they went with it. They wanted to just take away that yellow-red
Was noch 12, sorry.
promotion that was available.
Ja, irgendwie bin ich das Loch, finde ich einfach blöd offen, oder? Gell?
奔提线走，扎上他那个白边儿，白边儿吧。行，我奔7、8个边来。几区最好。我奔7、8个边来。
Malone makes her way to the other end.
看线路，然后或者正粘的，或者正磕的都可以。行。7、8，等一等线。哇，等一等线，等等线，7、8等等线。8、9啊，8、9，9，别两道的。不能带，不能带。9，不行。
Trying to get at that one that's back of the button.
下线呢？下线。我来者了。
But again, just not the right draw weight. Have seen more hits than draws in this game.
量大的。
Even if that one's short, it's probably going to be in a spot that can be used. Now that one's out of play and not useful to China.
应该是留前面也是。
Still be useful to Switzerland though. He's backing.
Ja.
Maar nog kaart!
Well, it's tempting to draw in, but you might give something. You throw a guard, take away the draw, you probably lock up a steal of one.
Dann dürfen wir aber da rauskommen. hä?
Ja. Willst du von da spielen? Oder willst du echt da mehr uns?
Wir gehen mit Dame mehr
Ja.
eins, hä? Sie darf sogar fast da raus, da kommst du noch nicht mehr dazwischen mit der Linie. oder?
Genau, ja. Also so, dass man noch zwischendurch durchkommt?
Nein, ich würde sagen, dass wir gerade nicht mehr kommen.
Gut, ja.
Ja. Es nützt dir nicht viel, wenn sie dazwischen durchkommt.
Oder was meinst du?
Und wir da.
Swiss bench.
Wie viel ist?
Oh, we're looking on.
Nicht so, du?
Finde ich gut, ja.
Etwa so noch mit dem
And there's two different thoughts on this one. How aggressive do you go aggressively and try and draw in to steal two possibly? Or do you throw a guard and make the shot as difficult as possible? In my mind, I think you throw the guard.
Zullen we gleich lang, hä?
Ja.
Binya Felcher. Oh, Switzerland looking intently.
Ist 12. Wo ist Garle? Wow. Garle gar nicht.
Moving down this
Okay,
wide out. You can
Franzi.
see the curl
Ja.
beginning to come now. It's coming round
Ja.
now. The sweeper's on it.
Fisch. Komm doch gleich. Fisch.
Going to block this pathway in.
Well, I don't know if they blocked the draw path, though. It's never really took the big curl that you expect. And I might even be able to make a shot here for two now. come to the out turn and just draw down, even if you just tap that red a hair. It's two different shots, but you basically throw the draw, and then if the weight is there in the line, you sweep it a bit to move it a few inches, and you get your deuce.
So it might start off as one thing and become the other. We are going to have a score here, though.
Yes, that is. No, I cannot guarantee it. I've seen before if there's a tie in a measure, it would be a blank end, but those are very few and far between.
Jiang Yilun. Let's look at the line. See the house revealed very shortly. Not the desired outcome. Really hasn't been their day, either Switzerland or China. Look at that, that steal. 0 after 5 and into the break. Hopefully a chance to regroup. Think about how things have gone so far. Improve and get going in this game. They've never really quite got going, either team. It's a 1-0 lead for Switzerland.
Da weit rausgehst, bleiben sie ungerade. Wenn sie in die Mitte kommen, kommen sie unendlich. Ja. Was wollen wir denn? Ja, die Länge haben wir noch nicht gekommen.
As it gets a little faster for turning more, the ice is getting worn in now. No more practice, no games.
Oder mit der Gang?
一进人的线路力完全不知道，那么这是一个问题，所以我们要注意这个，不用一直打得那么简单。虽然说第一场找到它没问题，你自己感觉状态有问题吗？没问题。现在注意点失误趋向啊，在场地这块进入力量和那个线路上的失误趋向。
Well, draw one in the third end, Switzerland and China. The second shot for the Swiss second, Franziska Kaufmann. Draw came deep, allowed for the little double tap. Will leave them sitting 2. Ended up being a blank end. And in the fifth end, again, Franziska Kaufmann, but this time her first, and the out turn come around. Trying to get around to go to the back. And they get just enough to be shot stone. And it's still in the back of the forefoot as Jiang Liun, the out turn draw, try and score her 1, tap it, possibly 2. But they won't get past the top, and it means a steal of 1. And the only score of the game after 5 ends.
Elsewhere, Korea against Germany. Last stone of the fifth end here from Eun Jung Kim, the Olympic silver medalists. 2-2 in this fifth end. And she already has at least one in there, I think. Guiding this one in. She has 2 in already, so it's a score of 3 there for Korea, and a 6-2 lead. For 4 indeed, yep. A 6-2 lead now after 6. Czech Republic are playing Canada, and they've had a tough first morning.
Yeah, it's a tough way to start a world championship. You're coming up and give up 4 off the bat. She now has to draw against 4.
This is the fifth end. You have to play a minimum of 6 ends, remember. So I want to go in with a score here of at least 1. How's it looking? How's it looking? Lots and lots of yellow. But here it comes. Inside it comes. And beautifully done from Anna Kubeshkova to score 1 there. But a long way back. 10-4 down in that game against Canada. So there we go. The scores so far. Switzerland leading China 1-0. Russia 3-3 with Scotland. Czech Republic down 10-4. And Korea leading Germany 6-2. Stats in our game. Well, we know the score. And
just that one.
Oh. Hit percentage 88 and 83. 70 and 59 for draws.
It's been a struggle on both sides for the draws, but especially the Chinese. They haven't really figured out draw weight. Many opportunities.
Teams back out then for part 2 of this draw, and our feature game there. And as you can see, between Switzerland and China, and just that one single point, that stolen point by Switzerland in that fifth end. And really, every shot matters now. 5 ends to go. And that narrow lead for Switzerland. The chat at half-time, what do you think, Luke? What will the coaches have been saying to both teams?
I think it's just, let's try and be a little consistent. Let's make sure we throw our draws to our sweepers, allow them to do some work. We've seen numerous ones that have slid deep in the house. Switzerland, let's take advantage of the misses that we're getting out of the Chinese side. Use them, put some pressure on them. We've got mistakes out of them in an open game. Imagine what would happen if we get into an aggressive style. Maybe get a few more steals, or even get a force here, get the hammer for the first time.
And Cara Hobald with a pretty good stat for a lead there, 88%.
Yeah, and it's splitting hairs a little bit, but back forefoot. You want that one top forefoot in stone placement.
Yeah, just a few inches too long there. 95 for Yao Hui. So the lead player is not the source of the problem later on in the game as yet.
Well, they'll try and use the corner guards to their advantage. They'll look to put that one out in front. Let's see what Switzerland does, and then put your own, maybe a second corner guard you may draw behind.
Okay, good. Okay.
Minor mistake trying to put a tight guard, and now slides in, so China can play hit on it.
Yeah, means it's available to be removed if it goes into the house. Oh, and she misses it.
Yeah, they're trying to sweep to get it to curl to get enough of it, and slides right by. So it is Switzerland line 2.
Nee. Finde ich auch gut, ja. Also, ich probiere es. Kommen wir mal mit 90, hä?
Ja.
Ja.
Ja, nog een beetje
Ja,
plaats.
die heb
Ik
je
vind
zo
het
net.
prettig,
Switzerland
hoor.
playing at
Richtig
85%.
gut. Er ist auch leuk.
Is leuk.
Aber ist doch gut. Zieh noch ein bisschen.
There's a good number as well.
Lengi, Lengi.
Nee, snel.
Ich glaube, er ist sehr gut.
Oh, fast die gleiche Zeit. Fast drin. Ist dran.
Okay, sorry. Gut. Denkt lang.
大力倒没事。
大力，打定上偏外一点就行。
打到
OK，
这儿
打定偏一点。
嗯。
Well, the important thing is try and make the roll now. Zhang Xindi, just try and roll over, get something protected. Even if you knows it isn't the end of the world, you leave your stone around in front.
And she's only 60%. Zhang Xindi.
下线，下线。
留不住啊，这个。
Well,
Just
there's
both.
mistake you can't. Got to try and hold that shooter. You'd rather over curl it, knows it.
还是
There,
直
they
的
don't get rid of that second red stone.
大力可能直，还是我
Not,
查一
not
个
quite on it today.
说没，kürzer, ja.
Xindi.
Länge ist gut. Mitte. 2 bis Mitte.
2 nach.
Noch Görla.
Braucht noch. Richtig ist gut. Dann noch wechseln. Er sagt noch ein bisschen Görla. Er muss noch Görla. Fest, nicht mehr. Fest, so lange läuft. Ziehen, ziehen, muss noch ein bisschen. Fest, komm, noch. Super, schön. 15-8 und ist verstritten.
Well, a simple game plan for Switzerland now, getting misses from China throughout this end. They haven't really been pushed at all so far in the sixth end, and leaves a bit of an opening now for China to draw down to shot stone.
5六，哇，
顶线，反正
小
顶线
4-5，4-5。
下线来了，下线来。
你来吧，家人。
这样太小了。
我这
这个出来我就觉得力量很小。
Not sure what happened to that one. That one well short of what they wanted.
8 bis 4.
Performing a slightly different function now. Like yellow stone.
Ähnlich.
You just feel as if the experience of, oh, she looked down at the stone several times there before she released. I don't quite know what happened there.
Zieh, weiterkommen. Fest. Noch weiter, ein bisschen putzen da. Zieh. Nagel, ein bisschen über die Mitte. Zieh.
Hey. Drunter kann wahrscheinlich.
再前一个。
Switzerland's still in a good position in this end. And Lang only 68% as well in the third position for China. And really it's that middle part of the team there that just hasn't quite been gelling. And Switzerland haven't really, you're right, look, they haven't really been challenged at all in this game.
And this one, though, does look better.
我就觉得说力量大。
Gets it buried, is shot stone.
出手还行吗？
放也行。
看着再放一点，有点掉似的。
嗯，这边还是掉了大，但我觉得送的。那边好像后期变。
Good placement there from China that time.
Ja, slingers, backline. Zeker backline. Best 5.
12 eyes. Yeah.
This is looking. They're not shot stone.
Okay.
No, and not even allowing the sweepers to get involved. There was heavy and outside, so they couldn't do anything with it. Ends up just tapping it back. It's still China line 1. Great opportunity now for him to get in lie 2. Don't want to move that red, just cross it, get across to the inside of that one.
She had a nice first stone.
领先，大热的。
Wang Yue, so China could do with something happening here for them in this end. Similar line to Switzerland here.
下线，下线，
磕水，磕水，肯定磕了。
Yeah, and pretty nicely done there
大的是人家喊上。
by China.
我来，我来。
So much more interesting end developing here.
But because they did move that one, there is a chance you could throw weight at it to try and get rid of it. This one just comes and nestles in on top of it as a freeze.
Sweeper's not on it at all.
Yeah, if they just sit there without moving it.
Yep, she knows it was just a little bit.
我还行。
So onto the skips stones and end number 6. Binya, not a great start from her point of view.
But she does have that
68%.
1-0 lead. So make this one and sitting in a much better position.
Okay.
Crashes on the front, and both teams having some issues.
行吗？轻磕一点啊！你按我那个头球线，你正磕过来。
Another missed chance there.
绝对是。
This time by Switzerland.
那行吧，这一打俩就没了。更磕一点，磕色的。对啊，行，行吗？行，这一点。行，要再磕的话，这一点。OK。
一半一半
这点，
行，
你
一半半
磕定了也没事。
行，
怎么来？
磕定，
磕定。
磕往里甩。
行。这面14秒进有。
So China with those 2 yellows counting
传速一点。
in the 6th end. Jin Yilun, also not great from her point of view. That statistic 69%. But again, that could change. And things come off in this end.
烟花，趴上，快点，2球线，他这个站起。哎呀，呦我。
Tucks another one in there. Line 3.
那这是咋
Slid over to that Czech Republic Canada game. It's 10-4. 6th end.
Ja, dan is eigenlijk vind ik relatief
3 she's
safe.
going for here.
Pardon me, a draw for 1. It was facing 2. Pardon me, I was mistaken there, given the wrong information. It was a draw. It's a draw for 1 for Jennifer Jones.
They have to play 6 ends minimum, and you would think they would call it quits after this game. It's 10-4 at the moment. She secures this draw. That's another point.
It's probably all that they would need at that point.
No broom.
Nice done, girl.
And in it comes to the applause of the crowd. And another point for Canada.
Never did ask if you're okay.
Taking that score to 11-4 now after 6 ends. Doesn't look like they're finishing yet.
You might want to play a couple more to the first game to try and throw some. It was funny, I saw over it was actually the alternate is in at 3rd, Shannon Burchard, who played with them at the national championship, actually fell on her slide, actually made a half of her shot, but they were laughing because her first slide at a world championship and she falls on her stomach and still gives the rock a push to make something.
It happens occasionally to
Meanwhile,
these players.
that stone coming a bit deep by China now allows Felcher a chance. You can make the double or you can hit and roll in top. Crashed on the guard on her first was Felcher.
Can she make this one? Well, one yellow disappears and one moves to the outside, but again, just off her game. They
And
have
a
that
chance
one,
at
they'll lead
three.
though.
Chance at 3. And China hasn't really made complete shots throughout the end either. They've missed them, but Switzerland just has made the results have been worse for Switzerland than for China. So now an opportunity, draw for 3.
Yeah, and I bet they didn't think they would have this chance. But they need to take it. Running out of ends. Li Lun. Look at those 2 yellows in there already. So 2 points already in the bag. Final stone. The 6th end. It should be relatively straightforward. Super's just almost monitoring it along. How's the weight? How's the weight?
Got to take this one to the forefoot. A great sweep.
And in it comes, and they do secure those 3 yellows, 3 points to China. How significant will that number be, I wonder, as the ends start to disappear? They have a 3-1 lead now after 6.
3, yeah. 是我看人给了，但是我觉得蹬的小，然后我就寻思我感觉。翻俩带点，因为他这个套他都走这边来了。
Aber du hättest nicht so etwas müssen spielen, wenn wir nicht gekommen wären.
Nicht so schlimm.
Es ist schon durch.
Ist nicht so schlimm.
So things finally getting a little bit more interesting here in this our feature game between Switzerland and China. 3-1 to China. That triple in end number 6, that draw for 3, giving them a 3-1 lead. 4 ends to go. Still difficult though to pick a winner. This inexperienced Chinese team against a very experienced team from Switzerland. It's an important end for China to get back into this and get into the lead. And Switzerland have the hammer now in this 7th end.
Well, it's the first time now in this game that Switzerland has had the hammer. We're in the 7th end now. First 4 ends were blanked, a steal, and then the 3 last end.
You're watching live coverage of Switzerland against China from the Ford World Women's Curling Championship 2018. We're in North Bay in Canada, in Northern Ontario. And I'm Alison Walker, and alongside me Luke Coley, we've been bringing you latest on this game and keeping you updated with everything else that's happening elsewhere. Just watching this Leadstone settle. We'll pop over to Korea against Germany in the meantime. 6th end, Daniela Jentsch with the final stone for Germany here.
She's got a draw for 1, and it looks like facing 3 or 4 at the moment. Has some backing, but needs the forefoot. Has made a couple of pressure shots to draw for their 2 singles, but gave up the 4 in the 5th end. And this one rubs off that red.
It's going and going and going. Oh my goodness.
Steal of 2.
8-2 now for Korea.
So Switzerland has to go on the aggressive, on the offensive now after the misses, or the misses last end that caused the 3. 1 corner guard out in front.
Carol Hovard telling them not to sweep, to stay off it. How heavy is it looking? It's going to catch the yellow and removes it.
Well, it is just a 3-1 game, but now China, and they're so technically sound with their deliveries, throwing the hits easier, and especially the way that their draw weight has been this game, a little bit off. Playing these are much easier.
Over to Russia against Scotland. Russia leading 5-3, 6th end. And Hannah Fleming, the Scottish skip.
Yeah, both of these skips are in their first World Championship. Of course, Russia and this team coming off the Olympic experience just a month ago. And Hannah Fleming trying to raise that yellow onto the red. And they knew they would just catch enough to score 1, but they get rid of that red stone, cut into the lead.
5-4 now to Russia. Scotland hanging in there in that game.
Oh, a nice come around by Kaufman on our feature sheet. Those 2 yellow Chinese stones behind the tee line.
Hit and the roll in. It's gone a little bit further. There's an update for you on all the other sheets. The very latest on all the games, including this one. China leading 3-1. We're in the 7th end. Right now it looks advantage China.
Well, we see all it takes is 1, get 1 wrapped around, and can change the look of an end. That's a real good effort. They get in. Second shot. Well, with it being a good come around. Try and play the pick, but it slides right by everything.
That was very close to that top guard as well. A little bit unlucky there.
But one that, yeah, if you're going to miss, you want to miss hitting the guard, not the one in the rings. And this one catches nothing. By saying that, if you want to play it, you're going to play it a little bit tight.
How costly could that be?
Well, all of a sudden now Switzerland set up to score their 2.
It's largely been a game about the misses here. Missed opportunities from both teams. So Switzerland there, counting 2.
Well, you don't want to keep anything around. The removal of those stones is better. Just don't want to build up that wall in the back of the house. Like that, you didn't want to leave necessarily. You can try and freeze to the back now. Because it makes it that much harder for China to remove. Well, just a little bit off, and that's, as we've said, been a story of this game. Not quite as sharp as they could be.
So that Redstone pretty vulnerable.
Dat zeker niet. Dat is een beetje lang, maar ja, die kunnen we nog goed. Slang timmen nog lang.
So we'll see what they do here if they try and nose this one. Because of where it is. Nose it, you R-shot stone. Forces the Swiss then to move it.
And away it goes.
Yeah, and they still, it's awfully very close.
So Switzerland counting 1 there.
Switzerland, you almost may think of making that double now just to make sure you are.
Look at this Czech Republic, Canada game. 11-4.
So that's the scenario. Canada lying 5. This is the last stone here for the Czech Republic.
Yeah, she's facing, it's all about the yellows, I'm afraid. Look at them there. 5 of them. Oh, 11-4 down. She won't want to miss this one. To get this in and counting.
Well, got off to a 6-0 deficit right away after 2 ends.
Up against it straight away. How's this one looking? How's this one looking? It's looking good for the Czech Republic. Score of 1 there for the Czech Republic. 1 red counting. But they are closing the game there. They are calling it quits. And it's a super victory, a super first victory in this championship for Jennifer Jones and Canada. 11-5, and really the Czech Republic never could quite recover after the start. Canada already issuing their intent.
A convincing victory for the Canadian side, so good win for them. Meanwhile here, it's a big shot for another former champion in Vinja Felcher.
And you can hear the applause there for that Canadian team as they walk off. So Switzerland's still line 2 here, and another game has been completed. That's Korea against Germany. Victory for Korea, 8-3 in the end, and the Olympic silver medalists are also showing what they're made of here. Good win for them too. So things coming down a little. This one's still on a bit of a knife edge between Switzerland and China. Difficult to pick a winner here.
Well, and I think they may want to nose this one now. Then it's close of who's second shot, or it'd be third shot in the back.
Stone here from China. So
shot stone.
They are shot stone there. I think they might be even lying 2, are they? Possibly the other, that Swiss red there, which is second shot.
I think a nose hit will get them 2, because they'll touch that back one and get away with it. I think second shot is that red one at the moment.
It doesn't affect what she throws here either way, does it?
She has to play the hit one way or the other because of where it is. It's shot stone in the forefoot.
Last stone of this 7th end then. Vinja Felcher. Potentially to level things up here for Switzerland. And no problem at all there.
That's one, they'll take a look. I think it is though 2.
Having a close look. Are they going to get a measure?
2 red.
2 red. Thank you, Irene. 2 reds counting there. So that does level things up in this game. And a feature game between Switzerland and China. Still some way to go then. 3-3 now after 7. Welcome back to our live coverage from the Ford World Women's Curling Championship 2018. We're in the North Bay Memorial Gardens Arena for a series of round-robin matches starting today, and a long way to go for all these teams. This is our feature game between Switzerland and China, and it's 3-3
Also probieren
We
wir.
started with all those blank tens, but the game really beginning to hot up now as we get towards the business end. But who will win this one? That's anybody's guess at the moment. Look.
Well, this 8th end becomes pivotal, and China does have the hammer. So they have 2-to-1 hammers. They'll go hard to score. Well, Switzerland would love to try and get a steal here in the end. And that's why they'll try and get the center line guard out in front to start the end.
Vooruit zijn guak, hè? Ik loop met Arfa. Ja, Tia eruit, Tia. Kees! Kees, coming! Tia. What? Wat zo? Kom maar mee.
Here's the numbers for you. All really happening from end number 5 onwards. It's really taking quite a long time to get into this game. But now every shot really does matter.
Yeah, center line guard in a good position. Yan Hui now try and go top 8 foot with this one.
Comparison of the players, the leads there.
Ja, dan viert aan de
Kara
onderkant.
slightly ahead of Hu Yan. Pretty good stats for both.
Well, this end could be a real test because both teams have struggled a little with their draw weight. And there's another mistake with draw weight. Chips rolls off. And just like that, now China has the upper hand in the end.
Can they make the most of it? That's what we've not really seen much of in this game. Opportunities lost. Stone placement really critical.
Well, got to make sure this one's in the rings, and you're hoping to try and take it deep.
It's not even making the rings, is it?
No, it won't. So mistake from mistake. Sometimes you'll see teams that are off a little bit in the first game, but not this much. And it doesn't seem like the ice has been changing that much. It looks pretty consistent throughout.
And rare to see both teams not quite performing like they can in the same game.
Well, in Switzerland right now, they don't mind actually a blank. It's still early, but a blank isn't a bad thing for the Swiss team here. It takes away one of the hammers that are left out there. So we look at the difference of seconds, and big advantage for Switzerland. Kaufman 89 to Jiang Xindi at 64%.
Yeah, Jiang Xindi just hasn't looked comfortable. But they're still right in this game, you know, it's still 3-3. So with a great chance of winning.
Gut gespielt. Gut gespielt.
快点。再来一个，再来一个。他给我收点。啊，我还上网一样。行。
Second stone for
哇！
等一
changing
等，
lead.
力量 OK 啊。哎，我看见了。塞尔西亚。
Thought they might play a little quieter way to try and make the roll, but
这送的比上一个大。
will hit and roll out. Seen it a couple
比上一
times.
个快一点，感觉。
That rollout means an opportunity to play this come around for Irene Shorey and Switzerland.
Länge ist gut.
Das ist doch gut. Nein, viel Platz.
Vorne 4.
Richtig ist gut.
Vorne 4.
Gut so.
Ja, Frucht.
So, Kerle. Schauen. Wechseln. Fest, Franzi, nimm ihn, Kerle. Nimm ihn. Hinterher. Fest, zieh. Fest, noch mit.
Good work from the sweeper there, getting that one into position.
看吧。行，低点。OK。这漏了1/3啊。
That was a real nice effort to get around there as you look at the third numbers.
Yeah, and they're both struggling as well. 71 and 70%.
他们小一点啊。他跑。下线。再下。下到底。擦一擦那个，擦一下外手。好，尖儿。
Well, that's a real nice shot. Bring your weight down. Use your sweepers.
哟，这直啊！我这面直，还行。Wechsel mee!
And that's the difference. Switzerland on the outside of that stone. Sweepers didn't touch it. They've really got the game down with research and studies, and really using the sweepers to guide the rock, to get it to curl, to keep it straight, and using your sweepers and keeping your weight control down. And there, when you get it out, you take that element out of the game altogether.
Marie, there you see the timer from the hog to hog line. That's the first thick line until second line here, just coming up now. See the time is 13.5.
再来点 ，OK。Sorry， 有点大，送的有点大。
Just a little bit long.
So back forefoot.
Von dieser Seite nicht gespielt. Weißt du meine noch?
Die Rennen ist vor die 14-2.
Chance to follow it down.
Ja.
So we are into skip stones of this eighth end.
Müssen wir das referieren? Nicht kalt.
14-2.
Die nicht
The crowd, having watched the
14-2
Canada game, now fully engrossed in this one.
Aber bis Fries. Fries wäre gerade auch ein bisschen Overtime. Ja, über Overtime, ja.
Gut.
Ist gut.
Ja.
Aber die Richtung muss stimmen, sonst lassen wir ihn dann lieber vorne nach.
Immer noch schön fliegen.
Ja.
Let's see the timing of this one from Binja Velcher. nestle up beside that one. Slight tap.
14-0.
There's a man sporting the St. Patrick's outfit of the day.
Yeah.
And, ooh, green
The
beer.
green beverage.
Ooh, I'm not sure about that.
We don't partake in any of that.
Maybe it's something minty.
Peppermint tea, I think. Well, that went over curled a little bit. The question is there room to tap it, try and move them around? Problem is you draw down, you're right on the button, and you're not. Switzerland then follows you down. You got no room to get that extra point. Trying to score multiple points here with the hammer is ideal, but first things first, make sure that you score.
We're used to seeing Betty Wang, Ying Wang on the circuit for China. The team that represented China at the Olympic Games. And a real opportunity for this new team here at the Worlds. Just nestling up to be shot stone, I think.
They are shot stone. Well, and look, the comparison of the skips, both struggling, especially with their draws.
Nochmal gleich legen. Und dann wo? Also wenn es geht, so. Und sonst da. Oder? Ja. Also einfach, weil da wäre nicht so geschickt, oder? Gut, es ist schwierig, aber...
Also ich würde hier anfangen.
Ja, weil, also weißt du, ich bin auch wirklich der nachher...
ein bisschen Teppen liegt er auch gut.
Genau,
ja. Schlechter Teppen als der,
Genau,
oder?
ja.
Und vor allem dürfen wir nicht hier überrollen, oder?
Ja. Nein, sind gut, kommst du noch mal gleich. Daher.
Wobei, am Schluss gehört er wahrscheinlich voll ab.
Ja, ich glaube auch.
Schon so spielen,
Ich glaube auch, ja, ja. Aber ich bin wirklich die Line okay, ich will gleiche Länge.
Also ich komme nochmal gleich und dann ist er wieder hinten 4.
Ja. Eins hatte ich da gehabt.
Ich würde gerade auch nochmal das Gleiche.
Nochmal gleich? Mhm.
Gib ein bisschen weniger, dann können wir noch ein bisschen zwischen. Tun wir noch so wenig tappen.
Was, ja?
Wenn du auf die Richtung schauen, weil der Preis wäre auch möglich.
Well, I thought there might have been enough to see with the intern to play on it.
Die Länge wäre genau die gleiche.
I like this call as well. You're coming down to the corner. I don't know if you make this corner freeze perfect. If there's another way to score at all, if you're China in the end.
Warte! Spitzli mehr!
Wow!
Ist mehr! Ist mehr!
Wow, wirklich warten.
Ein bisschen besser,
Jetzt kommt
Länge.
er besser, aber warte.
Sind wir noch in einer 4?
Nein, wir können nicht.
Nein.
13,6. Nein.
Wir können nicht.
Ich weiß nicht genau, was ich soll.
But this one is heavy.
Well, she has been struggling with that weight. Weight all week, or one day of the week.
Okay.
Just too much.
Well, the question they're looking at is there enough to come down, move both those reds, score 3, but you have a chance to score 2 in this 8th end of a tie game. You run down and throw the draw.
主要是这面啊，就刚好。其实这球是个什么力量？旋打刚好。
客定。
So again, a real opportunity here for China.
他这球刚好全漏。行，嗯。
What can they make of it? 8th end.
Well, they obviously think they can see enough of it to cross it a little bit and just move both those reds. I see something different out on the ice than I see here, but
Liun.
chance here for 3 if you hit this one perfectly.
An absolutely key end from China's point of view if they can pull this one off.
Well, They'll just nose that back one and get their 2. They need to curl a little bit more in order to get their 3. Still,
Yep,
big score.
Good score for them. They now lead 5-3 after 8.
他得下特别打得特别薄，才能挤成那个。挺好的。
关键是这个不敢再收了，先切完2分就得了。
对，没毛病。
不敢再收。
这行。Nee, maar dat zei je.
Immer noch 2. Ja, ja.
Machen wir zuerst.
Probieren wir nochmal 2, oder? Genau. Gut.
Welcome back to our live coverage at the Ford World Women's Curling Championship 2018. This is the opening day of the round robin, and this is our featured game between Switzerland and China. And China now with a 5-3 lead going into this 9th end, picking up 2 shots in the 8th. Really cautious start to this game, really beginning to hot up after the 5th end break. China at the moment with that advantage. Securing those 2 points to give them that 5-3 lead. So we need to see something here from Switzerland, making an impression. They have the hammer. One other game still going on inside the arena here, and it's Russia against Scotland. 8th end, 5-4 lead to Russia. Victoria Musiva in this 8th end with the last stone.
Don't think she has any opportunity to try and get her 2 there. We'll update you on that very shortly. Let's just see this one finish here for China. Well, here Switzerland and China both really need to get their draws going. This opens up a path behind that corner guard.
Back to Russia, Scotland, and Victoria Musiva. Here she goes.
Yeah, it's the Scotland stone that shot stone behind those corner guards and actually over buried, so no way of getting 2, just a draw. Take your 1. they'll do that, so that makes it 6-4. They're through 8 ends of that one.
So close game there, and close one too.
Yeah, and that's two
Here.
first-time world appearance, two rookies. I'm
You
new
got
to
there.
this too.
You got
I'll
there.
get there eventually. Sounded good in my head, but that's two first-time skips at a world championship in Moiseva and Hannah Fleming. So good game for both of them to be in early on. A 2-point game. Scotland tried to get a deuce in 9. Meanwhile here, first-time skip, Zhang Yilun leading the 2-time world champion in Benya Felcher.
The experience of players like Francesca Kaufmann critical here, getting to this stage of the game. Benya Felcher needs all the players to step up, trailing.
That's a really nice shot, just being able to nose that and stay on the face of it. Probably see an exchange of stones in this open one unless someone can make the roll.
逆起来吧。
正常。
正常啊，9秒啊。下线。往等等。再下一下。
下线，再下。
Hits and sticks on the outside edge there.
得甩点，要没有那气。
Well, it is third shot, so the decision of whether you go around, which looks like the call.
Ja, so 70, 75, was meinst du?
Ja, 14, 7 ist die Carolina.
Okay,
Well, it
gut.
was a draw by Kaufmann in the 5th end that led to a steal. Their
Gut, Vorrang!
lone lead of the game.
Vorrang!
Nochmal Lengi.
Richtig ist gut. Okay, ich bin nicht kürzer, aber ich weiß es nicht. Richtig ist gut. Vorrang, alle 12. Richtig ist gut. Dann noch wechseln. Dann nimm ihn weit. So weiter geht's. Fester muss noch curlen. Nimm ihn. So weiter geht's. Fest. Komm, zieh. Noch weit. Super. Gut gesehen. Gut ist.
Well, able to go around everything.
让清开。
山路清开可以。
你感觉这边线路怎么样？先粘它一个。
打逆时行吗？不中间点，这边往山平降也可以，我觉得。OK。
是就正常一点点先。
Wasn't sure if it was just a straight peel or trying to run this one back. Well, they are trying to run it back. Will miss it and leave the guard. So another one.
再放一点。
Try and wrap behind. I thought you might just try and follow it down. Need to curl up just a little more.
Genau.
It would almost have been harder to make it go through that porch rather than not connect with the stone.
We may think about those other ones out in front, why you wouldn't play on that right now, but still 4 rocks remaining for Switzerland. Oh, and that'll hurt because it takes away using that red angle that they have in the top of the 12-foot.
Yeah, that's limiting Switzerland's options now.
确保打掉去。这儿。
长板啊。哦，确保打掉去。 等等 起来。OK， 可以。
Still hanging on there on the edge of the 12th. Rolling just a bit far.
Over daar, de take-out.
Een take-out druk. Ja. Oké. Was heet Sos? Is egal, nee, is schon gut.
Is dat vol, oder?
Ja. Overkraald, gell?
Now with that rollout, the play on those top stones.
Oh! Achtung! Nein!
Was kijkt daar al?
Fest, zieh!
Just kick off that top one.
What? What's up?
Sit 1 and 3, it looks like.
Oké.
Yeah, that bottom yellow for China.
Zij wel eens zo. En daar
Must be the counting stone.
Well, they're using all 12 feet of the rings right now.
Ja.
They all still count until something else finds its way into the middle.
行吗？这点。行。要不这个点。我感觉这个点就行，这个点。
All the stones pretty much spread out as well.
不行就刮那个过来，把这个往后挤也行。来甩。哦，加。
Well, unlucky they clipped that one. It won't remove that stone. Chance here to lie 3 for Switzerland. They might be lying 2 already.
Yeah, they're just looking to see which one is actually.
Zij is zeker slechter, hè?
I think their second shot in the top.
Ja, bij hem is knap.
Switzerland red stones, remember? China yellow. Let's have another look at them.
Dus wie ik zie hier.
Ben je niet 100% zeker? Mooi gelegd hier.
I think they are 1 and 2.
Ja, split up. Dan moet je slekken. Maar daar.
They could remove that other yellow.
Ja. Goed, oder?
This could be a big end for
15
Switzerland.
K im Fall. Ja, T-Line 15 K. Ja.
Well, if the broom where it is, it looks like
We liggen ziemlich sicher zweimal. Gut.
Goed.
draw in lie
Dat is
3.
T-Line.
Ja,
Die
ist
lijn,
gut.
goed.
Das vorne
Also
hier.
so, ja,
Vorne echt schon gut, ja.
genau, so 14.
This is
Die
a
andere
real
15
opportunity though
Bis
Die-
15,
for the
ja.
Swiss
Gut, die
team
will
here.
T-Line gewesen sein.
Ja.
Goed.
Es ist auch wirklich fein.
Ja.
9th end, trailing 3-5. And Felcher needs a score, a good score here.
Sicher T-Line, hängen Vierer. Hängen.
Aber niet. Gaan er niet maken.
Hij wil het niet maken. Hängen 8.
Kom daar.
Ja, er komt.
Daar hingeren.
Ja,
Daar
ja,
hingeren.
ja, er komt helpen.
Goed, op is daar.
Nothing till it gets in the house.
Oké, doe ze.
She needs to make it count. Is it going to still count? Well,
It's going to be 5th shot. Like, hit all the rings there and
I mean, how
just
many times
overthrew
have
it.
we seen that look just too much?
I feel like I've said it numerous times throughout this game, and they won't be happy with it either. I'm just saying they throw it a little bit. Yeah, you throw it light, you're not happy also, but if you throw it a little bit lighter and your sweepers do some work, then it's a different story.
应该是一共有一个前
Looking back, they'll be annoyed with themselves.
抠一点里面。
Yeah, both have had lots of opportunities.
我这一点。
As we know, they're very capable of making these shots. on a very regular basis. So over to China.
这样那个点就行，不变。开，打定就行。
打定就行，加油。
Well, they get rid of that back one, so there's no way of 3 now. Question is, who's shot at the top?
I still think it's that red one on the right-hand side there.
Yeah, playing same draw. Have another look, the exact same path. I would expect Felcher to be pretty close to putting this one right on the tee line and getting that second point.
Especially after her previous stone. We've learned from that important shot here for the Swiss skip.
Second tee line.
C'est quoi tous? C'est quoi tous? Whoa, 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 whoa. But
It's not deep.
How's it looking? I think it's okay this time.
Yeah, it kept sliding. It was definitely deeper than what she wanted, but it is good for the deuce.
It is.
They'll take
you already said.
2 points, yep, for
It's not
Switzerland. Still in there.
Oh,
Need
now
to
I think
go.
they called for a measure on that.
That's what
Thought they had said 2 red, and then they will throw the stick on it.
这球是感觉怎么？
I don't know what the coaches think. They're going to wait for the measure though, or are they?
Nog niet eigenlijk.
They'll have the official come out. Measure to see if it is indeed 2 that I thought, and it seemed like Irene Shorey did as well.
It certainly looks red there from that angle. That's the Swiss stone. Let's just have to wait and see.
Well, I think the players knew, but I don't know if they communicated it to the official they wanted to measure. It's on the way now.
量一下吧，他说护栏画的白。谁说的？
要是
那个啥，裁判昨天说的，画的是小还不是大，也不知道。
你去，
但是就我感
Okay,
觉
that
圆
has
它应
actually
该
changed
不
on
能
the
是护栏
scoreboard to 5-5, but let's wait and see.
3点看吧，我也不看了。
他刚才看那个大屏幕报的啊，感觉好像黄球进。
Take a look at the dial here.
On the micrometer there. Mike, they're having an issue with the micrometer now too.
等一下啊。
Always adds a little bit more drama to it all,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Okay.
Looked
No.
okay that time. Look at the dial here.
And it is the 2 that they thought, so it took a little time, but we now have the tie game.
5-5 after 9 ends. 1 more to go.
Ja.
10th end of our featured game between Switzerland and China. First round robin action here at the Ford World Women's Curling Championship 2018. Alison Walker and Luke Coley bringing you live commentary on this, our featured game, which has been very tight all the way through. And this is the 10th end, 5-5. It's China who have the hammer. Can they make it count here and win this one?
Well, it's a good test for the young skip, Jiang Liun, against the veteran and Binja Felcher in Switzerland. Been here before, her 5th trip to the World Championship, whereas the first for this Chinese foursome. So we see the centerline guard start things off, and now what has become very common, the tick shot.
Remember, they can move the stone here, but they can't remove it. They can shift it along a little bit, move it out the way, as long as it doesn't go out.
Well, they'll tap it right on the nose, and that's not what you want. That puts it into a real good steal spot right away. And then they can guard up the guard.
Gaat eigenlijk niet. Net langer
Look at 2 games that are finals. Canada beating the Czech Republic 11-5 on sheet C. Korea beating Germany 8-3 on sheet D. Well, Russia, Scotland in the 10th end right next to us on sheet B. We are on sheet A here for our feature game.
Close now. Face strength. Nimna. Oh. Sehr schön.
What?
Gell? Right.
Well, that missed tick shot couldn't have ended up in a worse position for China. Now made this shot much more difficult, a higher degree of difficulty. Well, now just touch their own. Leave it in play. They don't move it very far.
And they lose their other one.
Great opportunity for a steal now for Binja Felcher in Switzerland.
It was the right tactics by China, but just poor execution.
Metti! Richtig ist gut. Metti! Zieh richtig!
Bis nach!
Oh!
Bis
Geh
nach!
dort fest.
Bis nach!
Oh, nein. Gut, dass er nicht so greift. Ja, gefährlich doch weniger, wenn er nicht so greift. Gut.
是轻误还是？
先把这个处理掉吧。
好。
也行，行吗？他是觉得那球离圆心太近了。
研究一下，7分钟短趟。
他是觉得那球离圆心太近了，他想先解决。
要是轻开呢？
现在轻开，然后他就站
但是现在相当于
因为他那个球就相当于
现在他站中线上。
那叫暂停。
要暂停。
暂停吧。
行，要暂停吧。
So they have asked for a timeout. Important moment in this end. And the coach will come down and have a chat with the players.
确实啊，他那正压圆心，关键是。
对他那球太离圆心太近了，解决他不是也行，但是最好是往外甩，别定着。
往外甩一点。
反正现在是露着好，
因为得给你
再站就不一定露。
Zhang Beng, coach for China.
我呀，
相有没有心情？
有啊，
清凉。
清这个红的和那黄的。
你不清
就清这个
的和里边那黄的。
清里边那俩。但是这基本上就打
好
50。
不是，你
先把那个打甩过来赢了就行，下把再选一个，要再选一个到6区，你再清那俩。那个黄的不要着急定，那黄牛你最后控制就是先打这个甩，赢了这个，他肯定也是旋，然后你第二个球再去清那俩。
行
，OK，
行 ，OK， 加油，打掉就行，不行下线还能打前面俩。行，你这失误去向比较多。
哎，我那个球就是你就先打往外甩就行。
加油，去板打流就行，是吧？下线的话，柯洁也可以。
行，挡板，
开，挡板小一点吧。
行，
你就感觉多大力量能打掉它
11.5。
我上把球我就稍松了一点。
So trying to get at that one on the button, that's the danger one. Let the other thing be try and peel the front into something else.
哇，打前面了，打前面了，
下线了。
哇！
Well, important to try and hold that one on the side, something they can use.
我感觉
力量小点，
力量小，
出了有的砸也行，就力量小。
meter lang. Ik kan zeggen, sorry.
Well, Franziska Kaufman's had a nice game here today.
She's been very solid. Probably the team's best player, actually.
Leunen. Ja, oké, leunen uit. Ja. Oké. Goed. Wat zo? Goed.
And guarding this one up.
有清2个吗？
It's not a whole lot of choice other than to try and clear the front if you're the Chinese side.
往那个转回来。
打定杀偏一点就行。
是奔你是奔哪个来的？哦 ，OK。打定偏外一点啊。哇，正常，力量小点。哇。
哇，这个给力。
擦。
Well, they're hoping to either run it back or onto that side red. They don't get either. They end up chipping that other Yellowstone in.
滑的有点大。
But Allison, guess what's coming next? Another guard. This all happened after the tick shot was just not executed.
Was missed, yep. So know what they have to do here. They don't have the hammer.
Richtige score. Goed zo.
Zij.
Is nou, kom pas in.
Oh.
Zij scoort.
Richtige score. Goed zo. Hoe is er?
Nou. Nee, zij.
Switzerland
Richtige score.
have one in there.
Richtig goed.
Sehr schön.
One in there counting. They need to try and protect it as much as they can.
Well, we'll see if China can get access to it at some point here in this 10th end.
打到这儿。
To look to make that double peel.
我给你这一点一下。OK。
大力。
哇！2、5、2。
There's Mui Wang.
OK。
Well, she certainly moves a few stones, but not really the one she wanted.
薄一点。你还
No, that dangerous one is still the one that's on the center line out in front. So it will be Switzerland's turn to call a timeout.
Okay. Ja. Also von dem her wäre eigentlich gescheit nochmal rein. Aber schon jetzt? Ich weiß es auch nicht.
Hello, Al, they say.
So this one is half open, the 6 is half open, just...
Yeah, you can get this either side though. It curls enough you can get it either way.
Yeah.
So we don't want to give them either way. If we freeze that, freeze it right on, we're going to have to try and come in. Top 4 foot are frozen right on it, dead on it, perfect.
Yeah, top 4 is also okay. Top 8 is also not that bad.
Well, she can get it this way though. If you're a little short, she can get it that way in the shot. And then that opens up the 4
Yeah,
foot.
we try that, but I don't want to push it,
Well,
so
if you push it a foot, that's okay.
Yeah,
The problem is if you come top 8, she hits that, now the 4 foot's open.
Yeah.
And she can get it either way.
Yes, I know, I'm just a little bit afraid of the weight.
14-6.
Okay.
Awesome.
Sounding fairly relaxed anyway. Out of this very important shot.
That's the thing with Irene. Even when they won the 2 World Championships, she sounded the exact same in those World Finals as she does right now. That's part of the reason why this team has had success, is how loose they play, and Irene definitely brings that out of this entire team.
Let's see how she performs here.
Hängen 4, Gau.
Richtig ist gut.
Hängen 4.
Länge gut.
Sicher.
Hängen 4.
Achtung, Butze.
Vorne 4.
Zieh. Lagen den Brief. Zieh ist kurz.
Here's the freeze that was ordered.
Zieh.
We'll get past this guard, it is.
They get past it, but it may have taken away a bit of the in-turn side to get at it, but I can still get to it with the out-turn.
Gut. Ja.
再找一个是吧？
德里，那个，
擦一擦。
有点送上去的这个。
Well, it gets rid of the guard, but it's... Now the question is whose second shot, because it could come in possible pick on that last one. I think the out-turn's the side that's available for China. That being the board side, or the would be a counterclockwise rotation. Turn to get at shot stone, the one on the button. So if you're going to error, you'd rather have this one under curl than over curl. Stay on the right side of center line from that picture. I mean, a very difficult draw, maybe a little tap on the in-turn side.
Well, she needed a really good shot. It's this moment now. Being a voucher.
Met is goed.
Botsen, kan het. Kan het er 2 groot?
Hier is er nog Lina.
Ja. Francie erop, Francie hem. Ja. Ho. Ja. Goed nog Lee. Fist.
Positioning is so important here.
What?
Well, did they take it away, though, with the guard being so long? That's the question.
Difficult to tell from her reaction there.
And did they cover up that red stone enough? That was the thing. That's the rock that you want to, the extra wide rock.
quickly pop over to Russia-Scotland. Hannah Fleming.
Needs to, and it's an angle raise double.
They know it's not good. That's
So
a disappointing way for Scotland to finish, but a good win for Russia there. 8-4 in the end. Two really good teams. Scotland making their debut with this team, but losing out in their first game. Good win for Russia.
他这面打，你看能有找到后面的吗？
Just the one game left now. And it's our feature game between Switzerland and China. And first of 2 stones here for China. It really has come down to this. She's done well on her hits. Li Jiang.
oh, figure they can see enough of them. Bai now. Will they make it, spill it out far enough? And look at that shot.
And finally they do. Finally one comes off, good double. She allows herself a smile there. They finally shifted those headstones in the middle. It's taken a while.
That's a fabulous shot. They actually thought they might have lost it.
It was close to the guard there. Look at this. Away they go.
But where they roll to also. Watch where this one rolls to after it hits. Rolls over, sits top of the 12-foot. Even if Felcher makes a perfect come around, there's that yellow raise if necessary too.
Yeah, that's could really help them with the final stone. But first of all, Pena Felcher has to make this one. And there's quite a few obstacles in the way.
Ja. Ich würde eigentlich am liebsten fast in das Loch rein. So. Also weißt du, dass er von da hinten wie fast offen aussieht. Das ist einfacher,
Good
als wenn er nur
execution
hinterm
from the
Rotor.
China skip there. Super stuff. Pena Felcher giving a round of applause, and also some players leaving the arena, hence the applause. She has to remain focused. 61% on her 9 draws look.
Yeah, she has not had that comfortable feel, it seems. Even in the last end was heavy with her first. Still was a bit heavy, was good enough to score the 2 to tie this game up. So goes back 8-foot. Now draw the 4-foot for the win.
Just like that.
Wat? Tipptopp. Niet zacht.
考虑错了吗？
没有，13秒8了。
对，它这个是你就奔14秒，14秒跟之前一样是吧？对。跟之前一样是吧？对，一样。
So here we go. Final stone of this 10th end. She knows what she needs to do.
Needs to get to the 4-foot.
Sweepers are on it. They're on it. Is it going to get there? They're working hard at it. How close? How close? This is going to be tight. She's done it. She's done it. It was an effort in the end, but super win there for China. Tight all the way. They've beaten a very, very good Swiss team, albeit not on form today, but very, very good win indeed there for Team China.
So China picks up their first win with a great draw, 6-5 the final. Two-time world champion Pena Felcher drops to 0-1 after losing this one.
对不起啊，我这个哎，你想的没听表，我看13秒7。
再挺高红点儿。
我看正好，我再不
但这个力量确实，我看。
Well, look back, a sixth end after back and forth mistakes. Zhang Liun able to have an opportunity to score 3. They need to get this one to the forefoot. And the big sweep, they get it to the side of the button to score 3. Skip ahead to the 9th end, and they draw to pick up the second point as Binya Felcher trying to capitalize and use the hammer. No problem here. This one comes right down in the 8-foot and gets the 2. Took a measure, but it is 2 for Switzerland. And in the 10th end, after making a great double on her first, Zhang Liun in her first appearance at a World Championship, chance to pick up her first win, needs to draw the forefoot. And a good team shot, use the sweepers, take it right to the forefoot for the victory. 6-5 the final. And look at the other games here in session 1. Of course, China, so we saw it beat Switzerland 6-5. Russia doubles up Scotland 8-4. Well, Canada wins 11-5 over Czech Republic, and Korea 8-3 winners over Germany. And here's a look at the standings. Through one session, Canada, China, Korea, and Russia with wins. Denmark, Italy, Japan, Sweden, and the USA all yet to play their first game, while the Czech Republic, Germany, Scotland, and Switzerland all with the 0-1 record so far here at the Ford World Women's Curling Championship 2018.
Congratulations on your first win. How do you feel?
祝贺第一场胜利，你现在感觉怎么样？
第一场胜利了之后，我们觉得整个的队伍的气势都上来了，而且整个状态都是比较好的，然后大家也都很兴奋。
After the first game, I think the whole team is excited, and we will play better. Yeah.
What is it like playing in your first World Championship?
你第一次世锦赛是什么感受？
这不是我的第一次世锦赛，但是这是我第一次在世锦赛中担任4垒的这个角色，所以第一次还是稍稍有一些紧张，有一些小紧张，有一些小兴奋，然后也很激动。
It's not my first curling championship, but it's the first time for me to play the skip in the curling championship. So I'm a little bit nervous, but excited. Yeah.
What is the goal for the team?
我们的队伍的目标是什么？
因为我们这是一个全新的队伍，然后我们主要是想在这一次大赛中学习到更多的经验，然后把我们自己的能量都爆发出来就可以了。
As we are a new and young team, so we'll learn a lot in the big game and try to experience more and show our power. Yeah.
Congratulations on the victory.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, that was a victorious skip for Team China. They win 6-5 here in Session 1. Wraps up Session 1 of the Ford World Women's Curling Championship 2018 for Allison Walker. Myself, Luke Coley. Thanks for tuning in.